Hey guys, so I haven't posted on here in 2 years, but I'm back now, and I wanted to do a video on how to reference Harvard style. So I'm not going to be doing a breakdown of how the structure of a citation is how it looks. I'm just going to be taking you through how to actually do it. So this video is more intended towards if you're just trying to do your references automatically on computer. So generally, I would say this is for university students. I think high school students still write it down manually. So yeah, I'll be taking us through. Let me see if I can share screen. Also, I'm not editing this video. I haven't been online in so long, and I also don't have the time to edit it. So I'm sorry, this is going to be very messy. Okay, let's see if I can share screen. Okay, cool. We're going to be doing references today. Um, oh yeah. So I wanted to take us through in-text and quotes. Not I quotes, it's just quotes. So basically how to quote somebody and then put the in-text in. Because Harvard style has a specific way to do that. The citation, that's general citation, and imagery. Because all these things have, there's a whole different way to do each one, and all are important because often when you like, at least in architecture, so I'm starting this video so badly, I'm so sorry, guys. So I myself am a student. I'm studying my master's in architecture. And yeah, so that's who I am. I haven't been on YouTube in a long time, so it's like a bit difficult to do the introduction. But yeah, so often you'll get a brief, right? Your assignment, and you'll get this statement in it. So they'll say how the report will be assessed on the following things, and this is what it'll be assessed on. So here's your in-text referencing. And these are all like academic rigor and illustrations. And then here we go, the bibliography and list of references. I can take us through each one of these things for your papers and essays, but it'll be in a different video. This video will just focus on referencing. Okay, to start us off, I just want to say how a reference and a bibliography are two different things. So you saw in that assessment memo, it said how I could either do a references list or a bibliography. Typically in architecture, when you write reports or essays, your dissertation and treaty when you get an honors and masters, that they generally don't ask you to do a bibliography. It'll be definitely more catered towards references. So just ask your lecturer or teacher if they want a reference list or a bibliography. The difference is a bibliography is every single thing you've read, watched, listened to, all the media you consume to get your work going. So even if you were just inspired by a piece, but didn't actually use a quote or a statement from that piece, you still mention it in a bibliography. But with the references, it's a lot more picky. So it's more whatever you put in your in-text, whatever you specifically do mention by name in your document, you need to put in the references. Important thing to remember about your references, it'll be done in a, like, how do I say, you don't do them in bullet form. You don't write down your references in bullet form when you're in university. Check with your lecturer and teacher if they want it this way. The reason I'm going through this is because I said this video is very specific to references, but also it's 5 marks generally. You can check in with your lecturer about how they analyze the way your paper is supposed to look. But you saw in my little assessment note, the references, your in-text reference and your list references will be marked. So generally 5 marks. Okay, cool. So let's take us through in-text. I think I have it down here. Okay, cool. So I just want to say the value of in-text and what in-text is, because I feel like maybe people don't know what that is, because most of the time when you come from high school into university, they don't give you a breakdown, or at least you wouldn't know from high school going to university, because it's very rare that you use in-text. In-text is this. It's saying whoever I cited in brackets alongside a quote or a statement that they made. That's what in-text is. It's very important because it says here's my statement, here's the stuff I'm saying, and it's valid because this other person had said it in the past because they did an entire study on the statement I've said. So it's basically saying where you got the statement or where you got the idea for your statement from. It also gives like validity to your paper. So it's not like you're just talking. You're not like saying nonsense. You're actually like saying a sentence and saying, no, this is a fact, it's objective, or there's studies that prove or disprove what I'm saying, and here's that statement. It's kind of like that. Because for academic papers, you can't just assume that the reader is going to believe you. Also, it gives like opportunities to future people who read your paper, because if you said one sentence that they really like was interested in, they'd go to your in-text and read the paper that you read to get that information. So that's a tip for like anyone who's writing a paper in general. When you read one paper, like when you read your research, right? This is for you if you're doing a research paper. When you read one research paper, look at the people that person referenced. Look at the people that person put into in-text and read those papers. It'll just expand your knowledge on the specific statement. Okay, I hope this video is not like boring. I'm trying to make it interesting with the diagrams, but I haven't done like a tutorial on this in a very long time. Okay, cool. Let's just get into how to make the citation first. So let's do this one first, because then the citation is what you would put under the actual title references at the end of your paper. So I'm going to show you guys the website I used. I'm using my general, I'm just using my general Google because I kept messing up the share screen on the other ones. So let's go. Oh, the site is called Cite This For Me. I'm going to have it in the description below. Create citation. So I was saying earlier that even if you don't use Harvard style, you can still use this website because they have, if you saw it said Harvard, MLA, those are the types of styles. Cool. So we're going to, this is the homepage. You can choose either website, book, journal, whatever you read or researched on. Here it clicks more, and then it has a whole lot like more options. So it's a very good website, since like it does an automatically citation for you. Okay, I'm going to click website. So we'll do a reference for a website just to get the feel of this, how to use this. I feel like I'm saying website so much. Okay, I never put in the URL because I feel like often this site will just mess up the information and put it everywhere. So we're going to use create manual citation. And here we go. So now the information with stars is like the very important information that will help your reference be more perfect. So I'm going to use this website since it was like one of them that was already open. So the first thing they ask for is the article title, which will be the top one here. Sometimes there'll be other information around it. Just kind of use your discretion and see which one is the title. Okay, and paste. Then they ask me the full name of the author, so the person who wrote this article. And that will be this curator. Copy. Paste. And drag. Okay. If you have more than one author that did the thing, that wrote the website or article that you used, you can add another contributor here. Okay, website title. Oh, I almost thought it was the article title again. Website title. This website is called Arc Daily. If you're someone who's new into studying architecture, I definitely recommend this website. Okay, URL code can just be found up here. Just copy and paste. Next is electronically published date. So this would be, I think it's at the bottom of the page. Sometimes it's at the top, sometimes it's near the author. You'll just have to look a little bit. But I know this, here we go. So this was the date that it was published. So here you can see a citation that the website has already given me. I wouldn't I wouldn't take this just because in case it's not Harvard style. So rather just do it yourself. Okay, 2nd December 2020. 2nd 2020. Cool. Date access. So this is like today's date or whichever date you accessed it on. Complete citation. So here you can see it's green. Sometimes it'll be orange. If it's orange, then it means you didn't put all the information that it needs, but it's still okay. If it's red, then you have a problem because it means that there was basically no citation. It's going to be very difficult for the next person to find what you were talking about or look back at your work. So try and get it to orange, yellow, green here. Then you can just copy in text. So here it tells me what I would like in terms of the information. It's going to be contributors and the year. I'll show you how that's laid out. Did I click cite citation? I clicked the wrong one, that's why. Anyway, so this will be the in-text citation. In-text citation is always surname of the author, comma, the year in brackets. But I'll show you how to do it when we go back to the original page. If you don't have the surname of the author, you can use the title of their article. Cool, copy. Or see, this is what I wanted, copy citation. I don't want to check my paper. Cool. Control V. So this is going to be the reference, your citation. And this is what you'll use at the end of your paper under the reference list. Just make sure to put it in alphabetical order. It has to go from A to Z. Just because all references, your reference list is always A to Z. A bibliography is either A to Z or sometimes it'll have it books, articles, books, journal, whatever the category of literature you looked at, it's going to be divided like that in a bibliography. But just check in with your lecturer or teacher to see if in your faculty they do it that way. I know for us that they do if you use a bibliography, but most of the time you'll use references. Okay, so this is what the citation will look like. For every single, how do I say? Every piece of material that you read is going to be different. For example, if it's a journal, book, article, dissertation, whatever you've read, even video, YouTube, a movie, anything you want to put into references, each thing is going to have their own way of being done in Harvard style. So it's very similar format. I said I'm not going to go through the format in this video though, but you can see here this style is carried throughout all the references, but it's important just to go, I use cite this for me also to check that my references are right. So it's easier to say on the website, just like go back and say books instead of website or whatever, and it'll give this to you in the format that's fit for a book because each one is a bit different. Okay, we can go through, I think we can go through quotes because I have it here. This isn't the quote I wanted. Oh. There's another one that shows how to quote a very long quotation. I think I have it somewhere. This is mine. This is from my honors dissertation, my honors treaty. So I just wanted to show the different ways to do an in-text reference. So one of them is the one I explained earlier, which is the brackets, surname. So this was done by two people. So it'll be one of the first person's surname and then the second person's surname with and in the middle and a comma and then the year. If it is more than two people, right? So this person has three. It's the same thing. It's, 1, 2, 3 with an and in between and then the date. That's fine. Now, if it is 4, that's when you write, let me open this document. This will be for in-text. Okay. If it's more than 4 people, so let's just say like Adam, right? And Adam wrote this with 3 other people, it would be al, comma, 2021. If it is 4 more people. Okay. What else do I need to explain here? Okay. So the other way to do in-text is, this is the way, like, this is brackets way. is generally if you want to just say a statement or say a long passage about all the things you learned and then want to say who you got it from once. So you would do it this way. But if you're doing like a study on what somebody said, so for example, this one here, this was a person that I kept on referring back to their study, not just what they said once. So I included their name out of brackets like this, their full surname. Then in brackets would be the date, then comma and what I want to say. Even with the quote, you'll see it here like this. No, not like this. It was here. No. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I know I have it here. But where did I put it? Yeah. So this is still my document from honors. Here you'll see a quote, and it's a one of, I think, above 30, 24, between 20 and 40, I think, above those numbers of a quote. You have to then highlight it in italics and then indent it. So you just push the text in one. Then you'll have it the same way, their name at the end, brackets. Yeah, this one here specifically was a quote taken from this person's paper, but they were quoting someone else. They were quoting from an interview. So that's when I put in the quote that they took and wrote down who said it, and then the paper I got it from. Now, the other way of in-text that's important is, I think I mentioned I mentioned this, right? If it's the other thing that to mention was if it is more than one person who you've got the information from. So here I've got it from Adam 2021, right? Now, if I have another person that said the same thing as him, and I want to make sure that my point is like shown that it's something that a lot of people have talked about, then I'd want to include more than one reference in my in-text. So then I'll start putting in like another person who I'm referencing, and it'll be like 2018, whenever, right? Now, the way to order this is by year. So Joy 2018 was before 2021. So that name would go first. Then it'd be semicolon, then the next person's name. If the person has a same year, right? If they were from the same year, it would be like this, 2021. So both Adam and Alan were in 2021, but now it goes from alphabetical order. So first it goes numerically, then it starts going alphabetically. So D comes before L. So Adam and Al will come before Alan. That's how you would do it if you want to use multiple people in your one in-text. Okay, okay, I went through quotes, right? I think I jumbled this a little bit. Sorry, guys. But I hope you've been keeping up. Okay, I did go through quotes already. So if it's a singular quote, just a short one, quickly to say your point, you would have the in-text reference like this. There we go. Short quote, then the in-text reference in brackets next to it. Cool. Longer quotes, you do it, like I said, the indent, then same way of doing in-text is like this. The indent also is in italics. Do not forget the italics. Yeah, also for quotes, it would be, this is from honors. So there's a few things that I didn't really think about when I did it, which is try and put your page numbers here. Especially if it's a long journal or book or anything, try and have the page number. Okay, cool. Quotes, we did it. Citation, we've done. In-text, I went through it. Okay, imagery. This is so exhausting. Imagery is okay. It's not too bad to try and get. I got a diagram here. So this diagram is from the internet, and well, it's from this person. But basically, you'll have your image, then you'll have it in italics, a little footnote, what is it called? It's basically just to write your figure. So whatever the diagram is, you have to write down what figure it is. And the reason you have to do this is because, one, you have to give a title to whatever the person is reading. Two, you have to say where this image came from. And three, the reference figure number is very important because you have to do a table of figures. And I will show you how to do that at the end. So basically you just write figure, whatever figure it is. This is a really long number because this is a really long paper. But you can even just have figure 2. It's okay. It's just whatever the length of your essay or report, just focus on that. I'm just showing you the way I lay it out using Harvard style. Okay, so you write down whatever figure it is, then the title. This title isn't necessarily what so see, I got this from this person, right? And this person had it labeled as some other title. This title that I've written here is or has to be your own. It's to say what that image is. So for example, if you got it from a website that says, yeah, that's a courtyard, then, but you don't want to talk about the courtyard, you want to talk about like the doors in the area. Then you'll say what your paper is highlighting, and you're just using that image to reference what you are highlighting. Cool. In brackets, you'll write down where you got the image, just like the person, the surname, and then the year. So it's very similar to in-text referencing. Now, if you did a diagram yourself, then it's the same thing, figure, title, then you'll say author's own, comma, 20, whatever year. Yeah, you do not write your own name. You don't write like your surname and then the year. You have to write down author's own. Or you can also write author's own, open, what's it called? Not semicolon, the other colon. What was I going to say? Oh, I would say author's own, colon, your name, comma, the year. But I would say just write author's own. Even if there's more than one author, you can still write author's own. I'm pretty sure. I'm just meaning like for group work. I know some of the papers are written in group work. The other one I wanted to go through was a joint image. So for example, if this was a picture I took from somewhere else and then I edited it, it would be, I would have to write the person whose picture originally it is first, semicolon, edited by author's own. I hope that made sense. I knew that I had that image somewhere, but I can't seem to find it. But that's okay. Okay, what else did I go through? So that's how you would do the referencing for imagery. I think that's good. Let's just go through the figure list to close, I think. Now you'll notice that I'm scrolling up to get the figure list. This is because this is an honors treaty. And in postgrad, you start putting the figure list at the top. References are still at the bottom, figure list is at the top. But for high school, undergrad, you'll still be putting that figure list at the end after references. So yeah, this looks a little bit scary, I think, but it's pretty simple. You don't have to put chapter like this. I did it because this paper was laid out that way. But if you're just doing this for an essay or something small, you don't really have to write down what chapter. It is nice to have it, but yeah, it's pretty simple how to do this table as well. I'm not going to draw one now. You can leave me a comment if you guys want me to do a video on how to make tables. That's cool. I'll attend to it. But yeah, so how I laid it out is I'll put 3 columns and however many rows you need. I lay it out as page, figure, and source. What that basically means is whatever page my figure is on. So this was on page 19. You have to write that. Then you write your figure number. Then the source. So the source is like, I did this one myself, right? The digital diagrams you guys saw. So it would be author's own, comma, 2022. Then the title that I put on there. So you remember it said figure, whatever, and then that short title in italics. That title is what comes here. Then you'll say in these like square type brackets, digital diagram or hand drawing or internet picture, whatever, or a photograph. Right? If it's not your own and it's somebody else's that you got from the internet, then you'll be putting in their surnames, the date, full stop, then the title that you gave the image, and then available at, and then the website. So you can see the hyperlink is still on here. You don't, what was I going to say? You don't need to have the hyperlink on, I think. I left mine on because it was requested as part of this document, but just check with your lecturer or teacher if they want it. I know some lecturers don't want you to have the hyperlink in. So yeah, that's how you do your table of figures. I'm hoping there isn't anything I've forgotten. I think that's okay. I think we got everything. How do I stop sharing screen? Okay. I hope this video was informative. It did not have any editing. I think I will still try and do some editing because I paused way too much. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. And I'll try and post more. Okay. Bye.